Now we will do Insect Invaders Part 3. Let's start. Chapter 3. Hold on to your seat, said the Frisk. We are going to buzz out of here. She pushed the lever on the dashboard, and the two had Elytra on top of the bus. Spread out, the magic beetle bus leaped into the air and used its second pair of wings to fly out of reach of the ants. The teachers at my old school never told us to buzz off, said Pobe. I'm just glad we are safe, Dia breathed a sigh of relief. Having wings is definitely handy for getting away from predators on prowl and for chasing down lost ladybugs, I said. And Fang, Ralphie reminded us. As the magic beetle bus buzzed through the air, we all looked out of the windows. Aha, Carla said, pointing back to where the ants swarmed over the ground. I don't see any ladybugs or Fang, but look at that caterpillar. There's no way it can get away from the ants. Down on the ground, a green caterpillar tried to wriggle away, but it just couldn't get up enough speed. The ants were all over it in a second. What's happening? Tim asked. The ants are stinging the caterpillar. Their sting contains venom, Miss Frizzle told us. When several of the ants have sting caterpillar, the poison is strong enough to kill it. That's how ants kill prey. That's so much bigger than they are. I felt bad about leaving the poor caterpillar, but we had a mission. I can't believe Spot and Whirly disappeared again. I said we have got to find them and Fang using our elytra and flying wings. The magic beetle bus flew away from the branch to branch. I had bet we searched every bush and flower in the woods. But did we find our pets? No. Such luck. Heavy artillery by Tim. The venom of some ants is so strong that it can make a person faint. Look, Tim pointed toward the ground below a tree branch where Miss Frizzle landed the magic beetle bus. Aren't those the ants we saw before? He asked. It was the red ants. All right, they still had the caterpillar. That huge, creepy crawler seemed way too big to carry, but the ants had moved it out of the woods. They managed to lift and drag it by using their mandibles. Why didn't ants just eat the caterpillar where they found it? Ralphie asked. Carrying the gigantic things looked like a lot of work. That caterpillar will be food for all the ants in the colony, Miss Frizzle said. When ants catch prey, they take it back to their nest for everyone to share. Ants are strong, by Arnold. Ants can pick up objects that are 20 times as heavy as they are. Let's say you weighed 50 pounds. If you were as strong as an ant, you would be able to lift a small car. I get it. Ants work together to make sure the entire colony grows and stays healthy, Carlos said. Right you are, Carlos. Ants are some of the best team players in the insect world, said the Frisk. They are small, but when they join forces, they do big work. From the desk of Miss Frizzle, ants live and work together. Ants are social insects that live in groups called colonies. Different ants have special jobs. A queen's job is to mate and lay eggs. There is usually just one queen in each colony. Males have one job: to mate with the queen. Ants. Workers are females who can't reproduce. They do rest of the work in the colony. They hunt, protect and fix the anthill, care for hatching eggs and feed the queen and growing ants. Ants can do big works like killing that caterpillar for food, said Tim. Down below us, the ants carried the caterpillar toward a big mound of sticks and leaves and dirt heaped against the side of an old tree stump. Is that their nest? Arnold asked. Miss Frizzle gave a contented nod. Inside the ant hill, thousands of ants were hard at work, taking care of ant eggs, hatching eggs, needs lots of food to grow and change into adult ants. Home Sweet Home by Pobe. Many ants live in nests called anthills. Ants use twigs, leaves and dirt to make a hill above the ground. They burrow into the hill and beneath the ground, making lots and lots of tunnels and chambers. From the desk of Miss Frizzle's Big Changes for Bugs. All insects hatch from eggs. Most insect babies are called larvae, and they look very different from adult insects. Larvae go through many stages before becoming adult. This process is called metaporosis. Here's how it works. A larva hatches from an egg. As it grows, the larva sheds its skin. This is called molting. After molting a few times, the larva becomes a pupa. During the pupa stage, the larva changes to an adult insect with 6 legs, 2 antennae and 3 main body parts. After that, the adult insect doesn't molt anymore. Its metamorphosis is complete. I had no idea insects went through so many changes. I just hope Spot and Whirly don't change into bug food, I said. Miss Frizzle hit the gas and the magic beetle blast flew off again. But instead of seeing my ladybugs or Ralphie's tarantula, we saw a bunch of really tiny insects. There were hundreds of them swarming all over some nearby flower stem. Those bugs you see are aphids, explained Miss Frizzle. They are sucking sap from the flower stems for food. Hungry aphids. By DA, aphids are very small but they feed in big groups and can cause large amounts of damage to plants. There are many different kinds of aphids and they feed on all types of plants including flowers, vegetables and fruit trees. It's nice to see some insects still eat plants instead of eating other bugs, Keisha said as she looked out of the windows. Actually, Keisha, the frizz began. Aphids cause a lots of problems for gardeners and farmers. Their eating habits can destroy plants and trees. I could tell that we could spend the more interested in finding insects. My ladybugs were still missing in action. I was just about to remind Miss Frizzle about our pets when she started talking to herself. If we are going to find Fang and the ladybugs, I think we need more eye power, Miss Frizzle said. When I saw the sparkle in her eyes, I knew the Frizz had something special in mind. Boy, was I right? Class, she said, it's time for a little metaphoresis.